wonder if he feels inadequate.
We'll find a way to change the world for you and I.
Don't put this on.
Well, then maybe stop.
Okay.
What did you do?
What did I do? I bought some art supplies because my body will not sustain art as a stunt performer. So here I am transitioning to something a little bit less impactful on the joints, bones, but a little bit more impactful, devastating on the soul and spirit.
So what is it?
I just listed calls. Paintings. Oh,
Sumi painting. Oh wow, don't put this in there. Now we're off doing some more running around, and the bed slide should be here later this afternoon, so hopefully we'll make a little bit more progress on that.
And while he's working, I'm gonna set up my easel. I'm gonna paint him working. It'll be abstract art, but just
Yeah, it'll be abstract, that's for sure. So that's cool if they actually stick with that title. I don't know if they will. That's the first time I've seen any sort of logo. But that's the Predator font. So that's pretty cool.
always help yourself to be crafty.
Water. Ice River Green bottle. Nice. So yeah, that's really cool. It will be super fun when it all comes full circle and I can review the movie. The bed slides came. Probably can't see my face. There's exposure. So I don't know what I was expecting. When you're only used to seeing the little drawer slides, like I used to put the drawers in at the front, you kind of have that in your mind's eye. You're like, well, it'll just be that, but stronger. Oh, this isn't even gonna do it justice. But look at these. Oh, that should, I haven't measured it, but these should be the 4-foot ones. Let's double check right now. They are heavy, which is good. That immediately instills confidence in me. So you'll be able to hold my butt up. Yep, they're 4 feet long. They're the right ones. What has to happen is these are gonna get attached to these 2x4 that I cut right up here. Have to be up a little higher so it can hold the plywood clears the top of this, right? And then the 2x2 gets attached to the skinny part of the slide. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll have a slide out bed. Byron and I spent basically the whole day running around doing stuff. We had to go up and finish up some stuff with him at the production office. I posted a picture to my Instagram of the title card of the movie, which is SKULLS, all done up in the Predator font. Really cool just to see it. He's done a bunch of stuff, of course, throughout the years. Some good, some bad. And I wouldn't say like I'm a huge Predator fan, but it's definitely a property that I'm fairly familiar with. And just to see it done in that Predator font is cool. We did that, and we did some running around for him, trying to find some ammunition for our dad, which is super scarce. We were looking for that ammo, led us to Bass Pro Shops, which is, if you're not familiar with it, is like, it's an outdoor world sort of store like Cabela's. I was able to find this funky little van stool. Well, it's not a van stool, it's just one of those little camping stools. Super cool. It was like $12, which my brother so kindly purchased for me. I mean, he is the movie star. Yeah, I figured it would work pretty good in the van for when I'm sitting up there cooking and whatnot. But that took up most of our day, just being out and doing stuff and hanging out, which was still fun because he's actually leaving at the end of this week, unless he ends up getting more work, which isn't likely. So, as sad as that is, because all of us being under the same roof is coming to an end, I will be seeing him pretty soon by the end of August. The plan is to go out to his place with my daughter over the Labor Day long weekend. So also hopefully Lindsay will be joining us at that time. We can get a crib game done, see where we're at. By that time, at this point, there's only 4 crib games done. Who knows? But yeah, so in terms of the bed build, in terms of the bed build, I need to go get a few more things just to continue it. So is that going to be something we do tonight? I don't know. Probably, but just in case not, if I'm wearing different clothes in the next clip, I did not go tonight. Decided to do it Now I just need to find somebody to cut this for me, because I'm not going to be having a bed platform that's janky because I cut it in the garage with a circular saw. Where's everybody? Bet I can figure out how to use it. That's how Matt actually loses a finger. This right here is just leftover plywood, so we'll have to find a use for that. Janky here because we don't have that 2x4 on here, but that looks sick. Okay, so it is the next day. I didn't get to anything last night, just relaxed. Watched a movie, Every Breath You Take. Good movie, horrible title. So now, hopefully, we're gonna get the majority of the bed platform done in this entry. With the plywood pieces, I just wanna haul them out and sand the edges where they got cut. They're a little rough from that cut at Home Depot. First thing I gotta start with, though, is getting the 2x4s on either end of the bed that the rails are gonna get attached to. And the first one, the one that goes near the back, I've held it up to the frame a few times now, and what's happening is at the end, on the part of the 2x4 that presses up against the stud on the wall of the van that I installed, it's actually tight and it's pushing that board out a bit. So I'm gonna cut it at a bit of an angle just to give that extra room so it can sit flush on the rest of the frame. The end closer to the cab, it should be fine. So we're gonna hit that with construction adhesive and then attach some screws and sink them right in. And then there will be hopefully enough room left over to attach the slides. And then we will be attaching the 2x3s to the slides. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I was gonna use 2x2s, but the slides are just so big this way that I picked up a 2x3 as well. It's gonna have to get cut into 2-foot sections, and that will be on the movable part of the slide. So let's get to it. So this is basically what I have to do, is just cut this way down the 2x4 so that when this presses up against the van, it's flush. It's just this corner that seems to be interfering with it. Okay, so this is what we were doing. So this is the piece that lines up here, and then it was just kind of contacting it there on the gray part a little further up and preventing it was kind of sticking out, like, well, not that much. That's obviously increased for dramatic effect, but now it sits flush, so it's time to construction adhesive and attach this bad boy with some screws. So, sad day. I don't think the drawer underneath is going to work, just with how big these slides ended up being and where they have to go. This cross beam, I actually have to lower it quite a bit because the 2x3 that we attached needs to be even with this 2x4 here. Right? We don't want it to be too high or the bed will have a whole bunch of space that it'll wobble on. So it has to be fairly even with that, and you can see where I have that crossbar, the drawer slide can't even come out right now. So I have to lower it enough to at least clear to there. It's a sad day that drawers won't be able to work, but that's okay because that leaves us the freedom to build little cubbies right in here for that storage. I've got both slides on. Let me just see if I can do this right. So here's how it's gonna look. This is not attached just yet. But funny, I don't know how. Well, I know how because I don't measure. But this one ended up quite higher. You can see. Is that gonna fall on me? Yeah. Hang on 2 seconds. This one is higher than this by quite a bit, right? Which is good. That means that the plywood easily clears there when I slide it back. However, when I first put the rear slide in, it was a lot lower, and I thought I'll just leave it. It'll be fine. No, it binded quite a bit on this piece here. So I undid all this before the construction adhesive set, and I was able to raise this one up. There is the difference in level there. And now when this comes down, plenty of clearance. Right, so now screws are just going to go from here and down into that slidey piece. It will be attach this piece of plywood and then pull it out, run the piano hinge all along that far side, and then attach the second board. Let's get it done. This phone. Okay, so I might not be doing too much more filming in this entry, or at least not tonight, because I got to figure some stuff out. I built it to have the plywood flush with the slide, but then there's no room for me to put a leg onto the plywood. So when it comes out, I'd like there to be a leg here, but we'll just put it over this way, but then it's in the way of this support beam. So I have to figure this out. I think this beam has to get maybe lowered a bit and attached from the inside, and then these might have to actually come forward and get offset a bit, which I don't know what that's going to do to the far side of this. So I'm going to figure that out, and we'll see what comes next. Okay, so that was probably a case of me massively overthinking it. As soon as I moved that cross beam to the back, it gave me the space to put a little leg in right here. Either way, we're gonna put the legs on after this is attached to the slide. So let's do that first. Now, Mike told me I didn't have to drill pilot holes into plywood. We're gonna see if that's right. This is on you, Mike, if it breaks. All right, first one. Let's see what happens. Is this even a long enough screw? Yes. Don't split, don't split, don't split. Very well bully for you, Mike. Although, now this top of the screw head's sticking up a bit. And I feel like if I sunk it, it would definitely split the plywood. So maybe we do pilot holes anyway. Just because I'm a wiener. I'm gonna need a way to hold this open. Pull latch. Latch might work. That being said, I'm gonna need a way to hold it closed as well. Latch might work. Okay, that was a lot of screws. I really hope I don't have to take this off, like, ever. Okay, moment of truth. Uh-oh, it won't go. Oh no, it won't go all the way down flush. Why? That defeats the purpose of all of this. Where's the issue at? I think it's because the hinge isn't straight. Remember that time I said I hope I don't ever have to take it off? I really hope I don't have to take this off, like ever. Yeah. Okay, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I just undid, well, I mean, it still did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. I took out 26 screws at this end. I think what had happened was because this is a 6-foot, a 6-foot hinge, and it's quite flexible, it ended up kind of coming in at this end. So when I closed it, you could see that the spine, like the actual hinge part, was out, and then it kind of tucked underneath the boards. We're talking a couple millimeters, but it seemed to be like that was the issue. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting the screws back in. So I took them all out, moved this board over a bit, and moved the whole hinge over a bit. So I'm creating more holes, millimeters away from the first holes that I put in, but it seems to be working so far. The method right now is I put about 4 screws in, and then I test it. So that's another 4. So I'm just gonna, well, I gotta move you. Stay there. Let's put you over. Let's put you on wheel well.
Sorry for that angle. Give me a second here.
Oh. Lay flat, lay flat, lay flat, lay flat. Good, we're laying flat. Another issue that I'm having, the reason the slide is not actually closing all the way, because this hinge, well, it says it's 72 inches, and it very well might be. The plywood boards aren't. They're 71 and 8 ticks. So the tiniest little bit of the hinge is sticking out at the end, and when I slide it back, the hinge, the metal on the hinge is actually hitting that stud in the back. So I'm gonna have to get some tin snips or something just to shave that off. Or grind it down, but that seems excessive. But this is good. This is, oh. It sounds so bad. I mean, it will be an easy enough fix if this hinge goes down the road. It's just screws. There's no construction adhesive, so that one really pinched it down. Let's make sure it still works. Sounds like, I don't know, bubble wrap or something. In retrospect, now that we're this far along, I don't know why I was putting it off for so long. But let's face it, I did do, this was a fair bit of work. But again, it's cool because this is just, I've never done anything like this. This was for me watching one YouTube video. I can't take credit for this creation. I can take credit for putting it together myself, sure. But there was a YouTube video that inspired me to do my bed this way, which I will link somewhere in the description or up on the screen. Because it was a really cool idea, and I just did it. I had to do it longer because even in that video, they were sleeping wheel well to wheel well, like head here, feet here, as opposed to me where I'm going this way. So I said do everything a little longer, a little bigger. I think I'm a bigger guy than the gentleman who inspired me to do the bed this way. Oh, fingers crossed. Just lay flat. Just lay flat. You son of a, just lay flat. Laying flat. Okay. So now, right, I can't do this with one hand. But yeah, so what we need to do next, right there in the middle, gonna build a little support structure. So when I sit, my weight makes it make contact. And we're just gonna do it out of probably leftover 2x3, the stuff that we used for the slides. Build that just right here in the middle. I'm done. I will see you all in the next one.